Hello there.
Hello, everybody. Welcome and welcome
Welcome.
back.
Woo, we had a couple of days, a week, maybe even longer. It's been longer. We have been
Busy?
woof, woof. Yes, yes.
We have been busy and it's been fabulous.
Fabulous. Yes.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm not sure exactly what we're talking about today. I mean, so yeah, Mari-Lyn?
Yeah. Well, one thing that we were talking about was talking to spirit.
Yes.
And in this past couple of weeks that has been so busy, I got overwhelmed. I mean, it was all good busy.
Yes.
But I got overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I had
your calendar was packed full.
It was.
Even on days where you we each have days that we try to take off, or those are the days we do, household things and family things and
Yep.
those things, or maybe we do a little paperwork that we have for TCS, whatever. Those are those days we don't take clients, but we'll kind of save them for if emergencies come up or something.
Sure.
But even those days for you, you were packed.
I was slammed.
Yeah.
I was slammed.
In a beautiful way. Never once did you complain in a like I'd get a text from you, woof, I'm tired. Yay, talk to you soon, going into another session.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
But as I had said in a recent podcast I did with recovery, that
was a beautiful podcast.
I got hit with that urge to drink. Yes. And it was a glass of wine is what sounded so good. And I'm not a wine drinker, which is, kind of weird that
that would be the thing. Yeah.
But it took that for me to realize just how overwhelmed I was.
Yeah.
And it took that for me to remember, ask for help.
Yes. Well, go ahead.
Ask for help in processing this. Ask for help in relaxing. Ask for help in how can you restructure your time so you don't get this overwhelmed because you love being this busy.
Yes.
And I did. I asked for help from my husband. Mm-hmm. I asked for help from you. Mm-hmm. And I asked for help from spirit.
Yes. Which is really, well, all three of those, that they're all three very important people they are to ask help from. But spirit, we often leave that out. Or what we do is we don't get specific, or we don't form the sentence. We just say, oh, why are you helping? Why am I like, there isn't that.
Yes, there isn't a direct ask.
Yes, there you go.
A direct ask. And even we don't remember to ask.
Yes.
How many times have you said to me, Pam, well, Mari-Lyn, did you ask? Did you ask? Well, no, of course I didn't ask. My ego's too busy trying to figure it out.
So pretty. So my daughter-in-law started with her. When I'll say something stupid or I'll forget to ask or whatever, instead of sort of like calling me out or whatever, she'll just look at me. She'll say, "Oh, Pam, you're so pretty." And I know exactly what. Like, yeah. And Mari-Lyn did that to me the other day. I was bypassing, and I was like, blah, blah, blah. And you went, "You're so pretty." Damn it. Yes.
It is a brilliant, kind way of saying, hello.
Hello, dumbass.
And and I thank her for allowing me to
I do
speak,
too.
because
Yes.
it was just too
Yes.
perfect.
Yes. And if you knew her, the audience, I mean, of course you know her. She is, first of all, I could not have chosen a wife for my son that would have been any better. Like, just couldn't, like, it just would not have happened. She's like my own daughter. She's amazing. And with all the qualities that I probably would not have instilled in my kids, because, you know, I was so broken, but she's just amazing, so grounded, so thoughtful. So, and it's so funny, she comes into our family, and her big cuss word is, "Oh, darn, dang it." And we just die laughing. It's like, what? Are you mad? Like, what was that? It's just hilarious. And I'm, like a sailor. No offense to sailors, but the way I cuss. Anyway, she's lovely. And that she's the one, "Oh, you're Pam, you're so pretty." So that came from her. Anyway, yes. So speaking to Barrett is something we forget. And it's okay. So we talk about meditation. Meditation is listening.
Listening.
That's a very important piece. And then we learn, like from religions everywhere, we learn about praying. Praying and talking, for me, are different things. So meditation and prayer, and then talking. Those are really separate things. Prayer is sort of, for me, now this, and I welcome all of you to let us know what prayer means for you, for everyone, because it's really different for everyone. But prayer is
I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had this conversation.
You and I?
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Mm-mm.
No, we've never had it.
Cool.
So we're going to work this out right here on
Let's have it
on air. What I learned about prayer, and this isn't everyone, whatever, you know that, people who are listening, and there are going to be people who want to correct me or give me their version, and I would love to hear all that. It's so personal to everyone, but
that absolutely, yes.
Yeah. For me, what I learned prayer was just sort of this talking, like this, there's no listening involved. It's just talking, but you're asking, it's like you're, what am I, so please keep so-and-so safe. Please do this. I really pray that the opportunity comes up for me to, like, I need a car and I don't have one, and I really need that. Like, there's a different with prayer. It just seems different than what we do when it's more of communicating than talking, I guess. That, for me, that might be a better word.
Okay. For me,
yeah,
prayer.
Because you used to do prayers when you were a kid, right? Didn't your parents have you do prayers, or no? Am I imagining that?
We did, we'd pray before we ate, and we'd have bedtime prayers.
Okay.
For me as an adult.
Okay.
Prayer is something I do for someone else.
Ooh, I like that.
When it's me,
I'm
just talking.
Yes.
It's a different vibration.
Yes.
There is different intention. When I was early in sobriety, there were certain prayers that they would have me, that people do for me. Right.
Okay. And there are people who in prayer, they read scripture. I know that I knew, so my kids, not because we're Christian, but we sent them to a Christian high school. It was great education. Anyway, that was something that the school, not my kids, they sort of taught kids, was about reading scripture. That was prayer time. That could be prayer time, was reading scripture. So when you said that, what it came to me was some preordained something, some scripted verbiage that came. And that would be, I mean, you can mix things up, but that would be like before you eat. There's sort of a scripted thing.
Right. Scripted. Yep.
So I wonder if prayer is more scripted, where talking or communicate is very unscripted.
For some people, I would think.
Yeah.
Not for me. I mean,
Right.
It's a very definite for me. Prayer is for someone else. I am asking something, but it's just talking.
Yeah.
When it's for me. Yeah.
For me, it's also, what the F? Like, what? I say that a lot. I say that a lot. And Spirit does not mind all the cussing. Believe me, I would be, in big trouble if that were the case. But we do forget to ask.
We do.
We forget to ask, I need help with this. Now, there are people who, okay, so maybe this is it for me. Because I know Christians who will say, like, Lord, please help with it. Lord, I give this to you to help me, whatever. That's a piece of when I'm talking. I will say, Spirit, usually I don't say, take this from me. Sometimes I do. There are occasions. But usually what I'm doing is I'm asking for clarity on something. I'm asking, I don't understand what this is. I don't understand what's going on. I really need some help with this. And this is not, oh my gosh, that brings up so much, because I talk to Spirit every day. I'm chatting like, Fred and I are just like old girlfriends. Blah, 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 blah. That's not the same thing as what we're talking about today, though. I mean, that's a typical thing that he and I do every morning. We walk around the house. He follows me around the house and we chat. But this is different, right?
Well, but is it? Well, it is, because what we're talking about is asking for help.
Asking for help. Yeah.
Asking for help. So asking for help can be.
So maybe you help. I don't know.
I mean, depends on the kind of help that we need.
Yeah.
True. Do we need clarity?
Yeah.
So if we're like in our brain and we're trying to solve a problem and we're just in our brain, we're not asking.
Right.
Spirit, I am so frustrated.
You know what?
You bring me clarity.
I'm also, so there is twofold. So there is that communication piece, because I will ask and I sit and listen as well. There is because I don't always think that's what prayer is you're talking, but you're not taking the time to listen to. Meditation is straight. Well, there's some communication there too, but it's a lot more listening.
A lot more listening.
But that middle piece is what I do most often. I'm asking and listening and asking and listening. It's talking and listening.
Okay, there's another piece. When we ask, do we always listen for the answer?
Correct. I'm going to add to that. An answer always comes. Sometimes the answer is no. Or sometimes the answer is, it's free will. Or, like sometimes there is no answer because we're not meant to have that answer. We have to figure something out on our own.
Very true.
Yes, but the answer can be no, and it is a lot for me. No.
How do we know? How do we know that? I want to be careful in how I word this, because sometimes the answer is no, and we don't think we're getting an answer.
Perfect. So how do we get the answers?
So how do we know the difference? Well, there is no difference. See, this is a problem, because if I say we're not getting an answer and the answer is no, it's so easy to fall into that trap of spirits not hearing me. So why bother?
Right. And that's never true. That is never true. It's
never true.
If there's ever an issue that like something's being told and we're not hearing it, that's always on our side. That's always our fault. Always.
But we are not in the right vibration. Into that.
Sure.
So easy to fall into that. Spirit's not hearing me, so why bother?
I have not been in that type of vibration for a long time, but I know that sort of pity party vibration. I know that. And I'm going to say something else. When we say listen or we're hearing, it does not always mean it's coming through our ears.
Nope.
Okay, so let's talk about what it means to receive an answer. What are the different ways? How do we receive messaging? Because it's not when we say,
let me count the ways.
I know. I think that can be very confusing for people. I have also had people say, like in classes, when say we're I'm helping someone develop. What? I'm helping someone develop, and I've had students literally cry. I don't hear them. And they clearly received an answer, but they're not seeing that as an answer, because when we say the word hear, we think so 3D that it has to come through the ears, and it has to be on the outside, like you hear something, like I'm hearing you,
just like when we say
seeing. Yes,
we use that verbiage of seeing, but we don't mean necessarily to see it with your 3D eyes.
No.
Okay, an answer.
Not even clairvoyantly. I'm not hugely clairvoyant, nor clairaudient. Correct.
It's also subjective.
But I use the terms, I saw this, I see this, I hear this,
I heard this.
That.
Yep. But an answer literally could be a ladybug landing on your arm.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It literally could be a leaf falling off the tree right in front of your face.
Yes. Yes. Something that is really quite out of the ordinary for your daily life. It
can be subtle.
Yes. And that's why it's so easy to dismiss it.
Yes.
So easy to dismiss it.
A lot of times spirit's messages are subtle. They are quiet. Yes. And if you have two voices going on in your head, and one's like a whisper and one's like
yelling at you, go with the whisper.
Go with the whisper.
Yes.
99.9% of the time.
Yes.
That whisper is spirit. And
here's another thing too, because people will say, well, how do I distinguish between hearing, like really hearing in my head, spirit? How do I know that's not my own ego? And that's a great question. And yes, because it often it feels like your ego is speaking to you.
Yeah.
For me, it can be, it's like different verbiage that I don't commonly use. The syntax or whatever is just a little bit different. That's how, for me personally, I will know, oh, that's not my voice. It sounds like me. It sounds like where my ego's coming from, but it's just off a little bit. Also, the paranormal will do that to you too, but they tell you to do bad things, not good things.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
But
I think for me, when I'm questioning that, I have to go to my heart space.
Good point. Yes.
What does my heart space tell me?
Yes.
Because there is a definite difference in vibration.
Yes.
Between my ego.
Yes.
And spirit.
Yeah.
And there's even a different vibration when my ego and spirit match.
Yes.
Because that happens That happens. It's unfortunate that when that happens, and I'll just speak for myself personally, that I don't give spirit the credit of backing me up.
Right.
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 Even though I know, because I've tapped in and I know that vibration of, yep, spirit's agreeing with me.
Yep.
All right.
Yes. It almost always, oh boy. Okay. What just flew in for me now is, what about people who have, I'm not going to say empath.
It's hard being an empath.
It's hard being an empath.
And I'm laughing, but
it is. It is. We've talked about an empath versus clairsentient, trauma and wounding, etc. So that's where I was going with that. If we are very wounded and we feel everything, you can actually mistake. So just like you hear differently in your head, how we just talked about, you can do that with feeling too. So people who are very emotional, who feel a lot, you need to check that. Yes, Mari-Lyn. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Because we can, whatever, mistake that for a yes or whatever, but really that's trauma coming out, and like maybe trauma bonding, or this is something that you really want. There's a place where you can really get tripped up. I really want this to happen. Is it spirit? Should I have this? What? Hold on, back up. That may not have been spirit. So to work on knowing the difference, and not just taking, like you just said it, not just taking one sign.
Yes.
There's always a cluster of signs. Spirit brings them in clusters. So you might hear something, feel something, see a ladybug, it will come in clusters, and there is a certain feeling to it.
When in doubt, ask again and be very specific.
Yes. You know what's coming to me is Mishi. She is one of my advanced students. She asks for signs more than anyone I've ever known, ever. And every time spirit brings her the signs, and she still questions, like, oh my God, like I just want, it's like, what is happening? Now, she's from Israel. So that's a very spiritual place. I mean, I have not had the pleasure of visiting. I will someday. And I do think part of it is because there's so much spiritual stuff going on there. Because I've never known anyone to get that. Like, she'll ask for some sign of something, and she'll walk to her car. This was true story. She walked to her car, and there were like 25 white butterflies on the hood of her car. Like, if that's not a sign.
Wow.
And she still went, she had to ask me, do you think it's a sign? Like, are you kidding me? But that's the kind of stuff that happens to her. And she always asks. And one thing that she's really good about, though, is being open enough to receive those signs. She may not always trust it right at first, but sometimes we'll ask for a sign, and then we keep our blinders on so we can't see the sign.
Yeah.
Feel it, hear it, know it, whatever.
Yep.
There have been times, I remember when we had our space, excuse me, we would be, is this the right thing? Is this it? Whatever. And an ambulance would go by with the sirens on. That was a yes. Could it be a bigger yes? Because we weren't listening. We put our blinders on. And it was like,
man, so funny that the ambulance goes by here and at the same time.
And that's so easy to dismiss.
It is.
So easy to dismiss. But if it's that coincidental, in air quotes, coincidence.
Yeah. No such thing.
No.
Do not believe in coincidence.
No.
at all. Happenstance, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And we'll use
Yeah.
that term sometimes. It's just like imagination. I use that term sometimes. And there really is nothing as like an imagination. Yeah, but I use
You
that.
have a very vivid imagination, young lady.
How many times did I hear that? Yes. Woof. Both of us. Both in different ways. Mari-Lyn and I have had so many similar, like some of our wounding is very similar. Some is not at all similar, but
Right.
But the wounding that is, the trauma was so very different how it came to us. Incredible. Yes. Incredible.
Yes.
So
very different.
Just because I have one thing and like we both say we have that same, it came very differently, which is really awesome to when that wounding comes up and we have a chance to talk about it, we learn so much from each other because we get to learn a different side. There's never just two sides to something. It's never. It's like a diamond. There are all these different facets. That's the word I was searching for. Yeah. Yes.
I want to apologize for all of my squirming over here. I am just like not able to sit still, but my back is a little bothering me today. So
still or again
it's moved.
Okay. Good. We had, I'll just say, so for those of you who watch our paranormal channel, you'll see it in a couple of weeks. Next week we have a very big clearing to do. And we have been not just visited, actually attacked by these, we're not sure what they are yet, so we don't want to label. We never really label anyway, but whatever the entities are over there. And so before we got on today, we had to clear ourselves, clear the house, both our houses, cars, everything. And one of the things that happened with Mari-Lyn was her back. It attacked because that's her weakest point. They always attack you at the weakest. Mine is my gut. So this weekend I had gut issues. So I'm glad it's running through you. I'm glad.
Yeah, thank you. So am I. And that's what it feels like. It's just the energy has shifted and it's
Yes.
So anyways, I just want to there's someone out there going, man, she can't sit still. What is her issue?
Well, like me,
that's it.
Playing with my hair, people, like, why do you always put, it's the energy. When my vibration really gets high, I can feel it in my hair even, and I have to like play with it. So I've started kind of pulling it back halfway now, as people can see when.
And very different from me when I play with my hair. It's total vanity.
So that's vanity for me as well. But mostly it's, see now I just itchy and I can feel I can feel it now as I play. So listening to spirit. So we talk a little more about the different ways that happens. I feel like people want to hear more about that.
Yeah. The ways of listening.
Yes. Even talking, but listening. I think the listening part is more important. They're both important, but listening is so important because we even get in when we don't even think we've asked sometimes. I'm going to step back. We have things in this lifetime that really are kind of set in stone. These things are going to happen to you in this lifetime period. You're going to meet these people. You're going to do this. You're going to trip on that. You're going to get that cold. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And then the other half of everything is completely free will. Complete free will. Whether it happens or not, it's up to us. So those things will collide sometimes. But so sometimes spirit will bring us messaging and we didn't know we asked because there's something set in stone that's coming or whatever. And so spirit is kind of letting us know.
Guiding us.
Oh, I have a perfect example.
Okay.
So the past couple of weeks, so as we talked about, Mari-Lyn has just been slammed. And my schedule has kind of been, it's never totally cleared out. It's not like I never do anything, but there have been some openings throughout my schedule. I'm like, huh, that's weird. Like when I noticed it, I realized that's not normal. There's something coming for me. And I know Mari-Lyn has helped me with this. I'm like, Mari-Lyn, and that felt right to you. You said, yeah, that feels right. Your spirit's clearing your schedule, which happened, which happened. And once I realized that, because I'm so pretty, it took me a while to, it took me a while to notice. Then I started listening. It's like, okay, what spirit was trying to get me to hear something, some messaging that was coming for me. And it finally arrived. And thankfully, is that the right word? I mean, I'm always thankful for spirit, but I went probably a week without listening. I guess the whole point of this. And when I look back, I think, oh my gosh, all the signs spirit was trying to give me and I wasn't. Like the same, like 444 or 44, I saw constantly everywhere. I'd be driving down the street and I'd just glance over and I'd see it on a building. I'd wake up in the morning, look at my phone, 444. Like that's how 44, it was coming everywhere. From all direct, I didn't pay attention to it. Spirit was trying to tell me something and I wasn't listening until I finally tuned in and I realized what was coming. And I'm not ready to say what. It's pretty exciting, but it's coming. So there are things like that. When changes in your schedule happen that seem really odd, you're getting messaging. Spirit is telling you something. So that whole long speech I just gave you, that would be what I was trying to get to. That's a message in itself.
Yeah.
Or you get clobbered with people like you did. And it's kind of both, because the part of the clobbering was, so grateful for all the people who called or emailed us about having their homes cleared. We've done more house clearings in the past, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Than we probably did in
amazing.
the 3 months prior. And we're so very grateful. And we were honored to do all of them. But Mari-Lyn already had a tough schedule. And then that was on. So, and you were grateful every moment of it. But that's also something also came for you and all that. That was another message for you.
It was.
And you didn't quite listen either.
Nope. No, not.
Yes. So
even even those of us that preach spirit.
Yes.
We don't always listen.
We don't always listen.
We have to be human first, though.
We do. Damn it.
We have to be human first.
Yes. Yep. We do.
So important. So there's so many different ways to ask. Right? Sometimes we even asked before we came into this life. Then there's the direct asking.
Yes.
There's also the indirect asking.
Yes.
That subconscious knowing that we need help, that sometimes we ask where our ego doesn't realize it.
Yes.
And you're all probably going, what the hell
is she talking about? Okay, Mari-Lyn, what are you talking about?
In those times when you know you need help and you cannot allow yourself to think about asking help.
Yeah.
But you find yourself thinking about spirit.
Yes.
Subconsciously, you're asking.
Absolutely. And spirit is answering. When spirit comes in like that, for me, there's such a peaceful, calm feeling to spirit that comes over me. I could be spinning about something or whatever, and then all of a sudden, ooh,
Yep.
it's like I get this calm feeling. It's like, okay, I need to pay attention to that. Spirit is coming in to tell me something.
I would be really curious to know how many people are listening right now and they're going, oh, that's what that is?
Yes, I hope so. I hope so. Yes.
Because I know people experience that and they don't realize
Correct.
what's happening.
Yes.
So, and a lot of you do know that that's what's happening. I don't want to take anything away from you, but those of you that get that, you experience that calm that comes over you and you don't understand it. Now you do.
And sometimes, well, depending on what's going on, but sometimes that calm comes and goes really fast.
Really fast.
So it's really up to us to pay attention and to grab a hold of that and pull it back and go, okay, what is this? Yeah, what is this?
Yeah.
Calm. Something's coming.
Yeah.
Yes. Spirit is always talking to us. But yes, we do also have to ask. On that free will piece, especially, we have to ask, and we don't always know, is this something that's definite for us, or is this a free will piece? We don't always know that. And sometimes I ask that. What is it? What happens here? And I'll get, well, it's your choice. It's like, oh, okay, it's a free will piece. Got it. I don't like that answer, but I got it. So I have to say this, one of the answers that I really dislike the most. Well, what do you want? Oh, just tell me what I want.
Okay, did you have to say that, Pam?
Yes.
Because that is my
yes.
Oh.
Yes. Because when I
reply to that, usually
I want an answer.
If I knew what I wanted, I wouldn't be asking.
Yes, yes.
If I freaking knew,
yes,
I wouldn't be asking.
Yes. No.
Nope.
Yeah. That's a big one.
That the answer of it's your choice for me a lot of times comes as a feeling, and the feeling is just
yes. Oh.
And that's it. It's a really big feeling of
yes. Oh, it's like that on your phone when you're texting, that little emoji where she has her hands up, like, what else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a strong,
yes.
At least for me, it is really a strong one. And it's like,
yes.
Really?
Yes. And I have to say, so you were talking, I didn't want, look at me not interrupting. I'm growing up. But I looked, I have my timer running, and I looked down and it was 4444.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. For me, that's a good, for me, the fours are really, everything's good. You're fine. Everything's stable. You're safe. Things are coming. For me, that at least for these past couple of weeks, I've been seeing it a lot, is not a free will piece. This tells me my higher self is coming in and really like they've got my playbook, or she's got my playbook up there, and she's like, okay, this is what you're going the wrong direction. Turn around, give her a 444. Turn around. Like, this is planned stuff coming.
We had a conversation yesterday about this 4444.
Yep.
And I had made a comment about when will 555 come?
Yes.
And it came last night.
Yes. And the great thing is, I was in another room from my phone. My son was over and heard my phone beep. He knew I was in the other room. So he went and gave it to me, and he looked, and it was 55. So he threw the phone at me and said 555. And then I looked, and your text was 555. I died laughing.
Coincidence?
No. I think not.
No.
Spirit has a great sense of humor.
Yes.
Great sense of humor. Yes. So
it was just a fun, uplifting.
Yes.
moment.
And that's one of those things, we kind of asked for a sign. we kind of asked, not specifically, but Spirit gave us that sign. Here's your 555. We're here. We're listening. We're right there with you.
So a good point, because I had said earlier that, sometimes we need to just be very specific in asking, but we don't always have to be that specific in asking.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we're too specific.
Sometimes
that happens too.
Like we're putting the request in a box.
Yes. And Spirit has no room to create the beautiful thing that we should have, because we've got those.
Yeah.
One of my issues is I put blinders on and I say it has to look like this. And Spirit's like, well, you've all heard me talk about this. Because that's when really Fred will come in. Because really, I don't always know who I'm talking to. But I'll know when it's Fred. And he'll say, can you give me some room to work here? Like, you've given
does
me
it
no
really
room.
need to be candy apple red?
Right. Right. Yeah. Like, you're not giving me any room here. So sometimes we don't get what we want because we're way too specific. And we're asking for something we want, not need. I think that's another piece of it too. What is it that we need? I don't need this specific vehicle to get me from here to here.
Right.
What I need is a vehicle to get me from here to fear. Here to fear. Woo! Fear plays a big role in that, doesn't it? Wow, that was not a slip.
No, it was not.
No. Thank you, Spirit. Yes, fear tells us we have to be specific. Go ahead.
Well, as the vehicle takes you from here to another point of unknown.
Yes. Nice. Here to fear.
Here to fear.
Yes. Here. I'm going to write that too.
Yeah. Here to fear.
Yes. So what was going through my head before that was, maybe it's that vehicle's not going to be a car. Maybe you're going to walk out and find a bicycle sitting there. That's right now, you need that bicycle. Yeah. You need a vehicle to get you from here, that you can't afford the car. You can't get the car, whatever the things are.
It would take so long to get that specific car.
Yes. You're missing out. And you're just missing out on what's here for you. That bike, maybe that bicycle, you think, oh, it's not a car, but I guess I have to, so you get on it and it's slower. You have time to look around. You have time to soak in and be grateful for what you have. And that gratitude, believe me, brings in more. And maybe that bike takes you somewhere. Maybe, we don't know what's going to happen. Be grateful for, it's not going to look the way you expect it to. Be open to it not looking that way. Yes.
Maybe that bike helps your physical body. Maybe
yes,
your health, mental health, physical health
is way more important. You need that. So by the time you get to work, your brain's not spinning. You're relaxed. You're grounded. Absolutely. Good point. Or same on the way home. So before you get home, say you have children or whatever, by the time you get home, you have let go of all the flotsam and jetsam, whatever, of your work day.
Absolutely.
And you get home and you're rested and you're present for your family.
Yeah.
That's way better than getting that exact car because you're vain. I'm sorry, but that's what came. That's vanity when we start asking for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Those are wants, not needs.
Yeah.
So be open to receiving that bicycle instead of the vehicle, the car. I mean, it's a vehicle. It's not a car. Automobile. Be open to that. And that's another, wow, Mari-Lyn, you are so amazing. That's another sign. But that was another sign with that bicycle that your Deva needs something too. This is not just like you're bypassing her needs, her or his, you're bypassing the needs of your physical body.
Yeah.
And Yeah, be grateful, and then be grateful
because
there's a bigger message in that bicycle, much bigger, and Spirit's not flipping you the finger at all.
And it's not going to be a bicycle if it's impossible for you to get from point A to point B on that bicycle.
Right.
Yeah. If your job is 10 miles away,
through, you have to get on the freeway and you have to that's just not
probably not going to be a bicycle. Maybe it'll be
a bus pass,
a moped, or a bus pass.
Right.
But if it is indeed a bicycle, there's a reason.
Yes.
There's a reason. And there's more to it than just it's going to get you from point A to point B.
Yes. And it's important that you have that job. So we're going to get you there, because that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's messaging in everything.
Everything.
When we allow ourselves the expansion, we talk about, any of you have had classes certainly with me. You've heard the word expansion many a time. And that's just how we allow our thought process, our intuition, our brain, our intellect to just open and expand open. It's a form of just sort of clearing your mind to receive, but it's expanding it out so you can receive more, so you can understand and get clarity.
Yeah.
And open to the possibilities.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. I know you and I both use that term. It's a beautiful term.
That
one actually for me came from my old teacher, Rod. He was amazing. It is amazing. He's still, I should say was
still amazing.
Yeah. We just don't see each other all the time, but we get together and it's like we never left. We're very good friends.
Woo! I can attest to that, because I have seen you two get together when you haven't seen each other in a while, and it's like, really? What are you talking to him? It's like, yeah.
Yes, we just click. Our vibrations how I match that vibration is beyond me, though. He is powerful. And he omits. Some people do different things with energy. He's one that it just flies from him, but in such a controlled, beautiful,
a very beautiful way.
Comes into the room 10 minutes before he does. Like when he has been in meditation with us, it's like, whoa, doggy, we're going out far today.
Yeah.
Because he just holds space for all of us. Yeah. We had a room full of people, and he alone held space for everyone. I didn't have to hold space. It's like,
and it's just like, that's just
him.
Okay. I know we don't use this term. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
But that just is who he is.
Yes.
His energy is that.
I'm going to say
that
cultivated.
Beautiful word.
Well, thank you, Spirit. That's what came. Because it wasn't just this. He doesn't just have this big energy and he doesn't know what to do with it. That's not it at all. He's very grounded. He's very contained. He understands. He holds everyone has, like, if you think of everyone being in a bubble, most of us, our bubbles kind of start wilting or during the day because you have to kind of pop it back up and what not hit. He is confident and he just, but he's been doing this for a very long time. And I was absolutely, I am absolutely honored to say that he was my teacher. He was my second or third teacher. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I remember my very first teacher and I remember him. And then I had little ones sort of scattered, but those were the two most important teachers.
I remember receiving an attunement from him.
Oof, yes.
You remember that?
I believe it knocked your socks off, if I remember.
Oof. Well, if I wore socks, it would have knocked me.
That's true. That's funny.
Probably knocked the polish off my toenails, though.
Socks. She needs her little toesies free. So any of you out there wondering about attunement, you want to talk about what that is? And how important we think they are there. Yeah, we give lots of attunement. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Mari-Lyn, spirit
Pam.
high. She's tuning in to that attunement that Rod gave. That energy.
Yeah.
There's an attunement for everything. And I strongly believe in them. My team gives a lot of them, as does Mari-Lyn's. I don't I know this is kind of, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. But if you are anywhere in the realm of working with energy, and I'm going to use the word should. I try not to use the shoulda, woulda, coulda, but it's a should.
Nope, but it's a should.
It's an absolutely thing. You have to have attunement. So there's another thing. If any of you go to readers or healers, whatever it is, ask them about their attunement.
Sure.
And if they look at you like, huh? Peace out. Okay, well, thanks. I'm gonna go find someone else. And so most like healers will have 3 to 4 attunement. So that's pretty standard. However, Mari-Lyn and I've had hundreds.
There is an attunement for everything you can think of.
Yes. And what attunement does is help. It's like those old dials on the radio where shh, and then you tune into someone talking and then you can understand that. And then they, whatever. It's a tuning like that. And it attunes you to a particular vibration of what, and sometimes the attunements are very small.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes if you wore socks, they'd knock them off. It's something that we do. It's an energetic thing. It helps us move forward, move up. Some people like to use the word a glow up. I hate that term, but sometimes we laugh at that term. Oh, you're getting a glow up.
Glow up.
It always makes me feel so cartoonish. Like, Powerpuff Girls or something.
Cartoonish, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it just does. Okay.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, it's a way to tune in to receive more information from spirit, from whatever it is that you're doing.
More clarity, more understanding.
And it can be anywhere from, sometimes to heal a wound, you have to have an attunement to get out of that, to really help you move through that wound. To any new gifting you get. Every time spirit brings us a new gift, there's an attunement with it, because you want to be tuned into that gift so you almost immediately have clarity on it. You understand it. You know where it's going. You'll know what to do. So just today, and I'm not going to say what, it's not for me to say, but Mari-Lyn got a beautiful attunement and she got a new gift. This is for the paranormal. I can't wait to watch her use it. The attunement so she couldn't just, they couldn't just give her that tool. And it's only for her, by the way. I picked it up and it so it's supposed to be, I'm not going to say what it is, but it's kind of this, it is not a sword, but I'm going to say, like if you pick up a sword and it's straight and it's right? I have a sword as a tool, right? So I picked that up and it's sharp and it's straight and it's solid. Well, let's say Mari-Lyn got a sword today and I picked it up and it kind of went whoop, like a noodle, because it's not meant for me to use. It's not there. And it wouldn't even matter how many attunements I got. I cannot use that tool. It's not mine. It's not for me. But Mari-Lyn put it in her hands. Woo, baby. It was something, but she was attuned to it specifically. So yes, for those of you not watching, she just shivered.
I did. I've got goosebumps on goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Just.
Yes. And that's how, so she can use it. Now, could she use it without the attunement? I mean, she could pick it up and kind of wave it around, but it's not going to do much. It has to be attuned. The energies have to all be attuned. And with that attunement, it's like an instruction manual comes with it and it's placed in your head. And
because I wouldn't have known what to do with it.
No,
not at all.
No. So yeah, we're big on attunements, as you can
My lights just flickered.
Ah, see, there's, yep, that spirit, that's your team.
Yep. Going, yep, you're right. You wouldn't have known what to do with
Nope,
it.
nope. Yes, I remember what brought to mind was, for those of you old enough to remember when VCRs came out, you had to have the manual or you were screwed. Like, even today, now I just got a new printer a couple weeks and I'm looking through although a lot is online, but you have to have that or you're not going to be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
You're not.
My printer, I mean, I've had it for a little while now, but it didn't even come with a manual.
Everything you go online now to get it?
Had to go online and find it.
Yes.
It's like,
well, there's still sort of some instruction somewhere.
I'm old, people. Give me written. Give me the written word. Doggone it.
You do way better with computers and stuff than I do. But you have to have the instruction manual to understand what's going on. And really, a lot of times that's what the attunement is. It's like an instruction manual, and it just gets fed into your brain, and whoop, you just know.
And you just know.
So when the time comes for her to use this new tool, she's just gonna know.
Whew.
Oh, and I can't wait. I'm so
exciting.
Yes. So, woo, did we get way off topic? I don't know. Not really. It's all about talking, right?
Look, the topic was like asking for help, talking to spirit.
Yes.
So attunements would be spirit's answer to a question.
Beautiful.
Attunements would be spirit's answer to the wanting of a need. Not because we just want to have this thing, but we are meant to have this thing. And the attunement comes when we're ready to accept it.
Yes. Yes.
And that accepting of it is our asking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so no, we didn't get off topic.
Oh, good. Well, so also when I was saying, like, when you talk to like Reiki masters or whatever, they've had 3 or 4 attunements depending on the whatever they did. And not to say if that's all they had, they're not, but there's so many more than that. It just brought me back to that about when you go looking for someone, a
healer,
but even a card reader. Everyone needs attunements, but so Reiki people are going to say, yes, I've had my attunements. And don't just leave it at that. Ask more. Oh, how many of you had? Just ask. They should be able to tell you. And if they get offended, that's their problem. I don't think they would. Most like to tell you. But if they say, oh, 4, 5, I mean, it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. I would, if they said, oh, 25, 30, I'd be like, oh,
whoa,
dog. Sure. Okay. Where do I pay?
I'm in.
Yes.
I'm in.
Yes. But you recently actually gave an attunement to a card reader. And
I did.
Her readings. Yeah.
I did.
Yes.
It was
really boosts
exciting.
Because a good card reader doesn't actually read the cards. A good reader channels the messages.
Yes.
You have to know, like with tarot, there's a lot to know. And so you have to have some idea of what each card, if you're really actually going to read them. Some idea of what those mean is okay. But you have to be with attunements when you tune in, and Spirit's going to bring you such a different perspective of what that card is. Have to be willing to listen, and those attunements, that's what gets you there. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. I feel like I've been talking the whole time. Sorry. Mari-Lyn.
No, you have not been talking the whole time, but talking about Rod and that big energy, and then it reminded me of the attunement he gave me, and then the energy of the attunement that I got today just overtook me.
Yes.
And I wasn't going to say, well, I just got an attunement and I really can't think right now. I can't. I was going to say that, but
I had the pleasure of facilitating that. I did not give, We do not give the attunements, by the way. And people will tell you that, oh, I'm a Reiki master, or I'm a whatever, and I'm going to give you this. Whatevs, man. It's not you. We are 10% maybe of the whole process. But I got to sit in. There's often, there is that, and not every attunement comes with a human piece to it. Today, there's a human piece to it. I had the pleasure of being that anchor. They don't all, but it was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was amazing.
It was beautiful.
Yes.
It was.
Oof. It was a big one. Big one. Yes. I can see where you might not be, able to talk quite clearly yet. Now you can. And then with the whole rod thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was all kind of like, I don't know, it like, I don't know, reignited it or something.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah. Ooh. So asking for help, listening for the answers.
Yes.
Listening for the answers with our entire being.
Yes.
Because
and
trusting. We have to be, excuse me, we have to be aware, spatially aware, visually aware, emotionally aware.
Yes.
Everything, because the answer can come any possible way.
Yes. What came when you were just talking about that? I know a lot of what we do is paranormal, so that's going to come into the equation, and the paranormal is part of our spiritual journey.
Yeah, sure, absolutely is.
So I don't know how many of you, or if you did, watched, I don't know if it was just the last video, but this just came as a sort of an example. We were working with the woman, and all of a sudden I had this bowl. It was the energetic bowl sitting in front of me.
Yes. And yes, this was I think the one that just posted.
And it was for her to help her with her anxiety. Now, had I not been listening, had I not been attuned, part of this is I'm so attuned to my team. My team tells me things, and this is, if I was waiting to hear something or whatever. And when I say I saw it in front of me, the way my channel works is I get a very it's a fast flash woof of something. And then I can say, well, I see it, but I'm not really looking at it at the moment. There was just this picture that flashed in this bowl, and I just knew what to do with it. I just listened, and that their information channeled through me. I just knew this is what you need to do. Very specific to her. That bowl's not going to go anywhere else. You can't just conjure up a bowl from somewhere. It's not going to work. It's very specific to her. Most of our clients will have very specific things to them come up, but that's another form of listening. And trusting. So I guess that's where I wanted to go with that. I had to trust that this was for a reason and just say it. There are times when it's so weird. We think, what the hell? I'm not saying that out loud, because that's just weird. But you have to trust that whatever just came. So if you go out if you've been asking for a sign and you walk out to your car and there are 25 white butterflies on the hood, trust that that's your answer. You are getting a big yes. We hear you. We're with you. We're walking this with you. You are right where you need to be. Go for it.
Yeah.
So that trust piece is huge.
Huge. Yeah.
And and even messages in the opposite way. Let's say you're in a car and you get a red light and you're like, God damn it, you're trying to get somewhere fast. Well, Spirit stopped you because maybe, maybe you were going to have an accident if you didn't, or maybe you need to not get to wherever you're going for another 30 seconds or a minute or whatever it is. I trust that all of those signs are for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that you need to listen, even though that's not a listening thing. That was
Not a listening thing.
But we use that verb.
That driving analogy. I used to be such a angry driver.
Mm-hmm.
I was always in a hurry, always get out of my way, always, always, always. And the more anxiety I had about driving, and I'm not talking fear anxiety, I'm talking
yes,
gotta go anxiety.
Yes.
The more I would get cut off, the more red lights I would have to stop at.
Yep.
The more near accidents I would have.
Mm-hmm.
And one day it hit me, if you would just calm down, your drive would be so smooth.
Yes. Yes.
Truth.
Yeah. When you go against the
truth.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you go against the flow.
Yeah. And it still happens today. Every once in a while, I will, get into that mode. And man, it comes fast that if I don't slow down.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just reminded of another time. It was years ago, and I had an opportunity to work with some veterans. And for all of you who heard me talk about my dad, he was a veteran of World War II, and I'm very patriotic, and I always think that's for their service, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, so I was kind of contemplating. I had an opportunity to work with it, and I just wasn't sure. And I'm not going to say the why, but I just wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I was out driving, and I saw someone walking on the side of the road that had fatigues on. Then I saw there was something on a I don't remember what it was, but there was a van, and it had something veteran something, or what. I don't remember exactly that, because what I do remember very specifically is all of a sudden there were two Corvettes. One in front of me, one came up beside me, and I was like, son of a bitch. Two vets. Like, if that wasn't an absolute yes,
yeah,
I don't know what was.
Yeah.
And then I ended up working with them, and it was a beautiful experience. But that was my yes. And had I just shut that down, I mean, first of all, just to come up behind one vet, but have two, that was an unbelievable. And I love Corvette, but I'm not a sports car person, but that one, they're beautiful. So anyway.
Yep.
Be open.
Signs are everywhere.
Be prepared.
Answers are everywhere.
They are. And be open to it. And don't shut it down. It's so easy for our egos to shut everything down. To just say, to find an excuse, a reason, a whatever, why this shouldn't be, or that can't happen, or whatever.
I also want to say, though, not everything is an answer.
Tell me more.
I have known people that try to make absolutely everything that happens in their life.
I see where you're going. Yes.
An answer.
Yes. Yes.
And that's not the case.
No.
Not everything is an answer.
And they come in clusters very often.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Yeah. Go
Just
ahead.
Like, every reaction is not from wounding.
Correct.
Right? We can just have a reaction because whatever happened was stupid. Or, whatever happens just goes against what we believe,
right?
Which has nothing to do with wounding.
Right.
Not everything is an answer, but if we are tuning in and we are aware, we're going to know what is an answer, what is a possible answer.
Okay, so that goes back to wanting something so badly. We will make anything an answer because that's the answer that we want.
Yes.
That's very different than getting a spirit answer.
Yes. To something we need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very different. Yeah.
And now if we've totally confused you.
Yes.
That might have been our goal.
You need to listen again. Yeah.
Yes. I really don't understand these ladies. I better listen to them more and see.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And there's also that gut feeling that comes too. That can be part of it as well.
That gut feeling or intuition.
Yes. And what comes for me is just there's very often a cluster. It's not just one and you don't get another one. Mm-hmm. Spirit brings it to you in so many different ways because that's your answer and it's what needs to happen. You've asked the question and it's a done deal. You have to listen though, but it can also be from wounding or, and that can be hard too. I've done years ago, of course, when I was, before I really started healing very much. I think I did that a lot just because maybe that's why I know it so well. It's because, I really want this. I'm supposed to. Well, but I'll also say sometimes, not sometimes, that's a lesson for you. So sometimes spirit will say, yup, or you'll think, yep, you'll get that gut, you'll get that feeling. And you were meant to do it because there was a big lesson there. And that's where your answer is, right there in that lesson.
In the lesson.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get through life without stumbling and falling. It's just not possible. We all have lessons. We all have to
we all have to
crazy world together. And you're going to stumble, you're going to fall, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get your heart broken, you're going to get angry and get sick and all of those things. That's life. That's being human, and being human is hard.
It is so hard.
Ooh,
it is hard.
Man, very.
Yeah.
So now that we've completely confused y'all, I
want to add though, being human is pretty amazing.
It's that too. Yeah.
Pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. How our brain works. Mm-hmm. How our physical body works. Mm-hmm. And how spirit works within all of that. It's mind-blowing.
It is. And our little brains, even people on this planet who have really big brains, it's too big for them too. Mm-hmm. All the inner workings of, if you think every single person has a path here, has some things that are set in stone, they're going to happen, a lot of free will. Well, all of that free will. So yeah, I have something that's coming up, right? And I have 5 different ways I can answer this, and it'll take me in a different direction. Well, each one of those has to be set. I'm like, spirit has to know each one knows, and all the people it's going to affect, and how it's going to affect.
How this answer affects this person that has to answer, and it affects this person. And
yes.
Holy moly!
Holy moly! Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Whew. Yeah, that's a lot.
And then we didn't even talk about, the planet or the plants that grow.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
It is a big, wide, wonderful journey.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. And though we cannot, this is coming too, though we cannot avoid things happening that we wished had not happened, we can step away from known irritants. So if you know someone, or if you're in a situation at work or wherever it is, and there are people who are just, negative Nellies, as they call them, or whatever, or they're just kind of angry people, whatever that is, you can step away from that person. Or let's say friends that you've had for a long time who are very, they don't support you the way that you would like to be supported, or maybe they give a lot of criticism. Mm-hmm. Just don't engage. It's okay to not engage. That is doing something for yourself.
True.
Don't engage. walk away. We don't have to. I guess this is coming up because this has come up actually with a couple of clients recently, and they're wondering how to maneuver through certain situations. And they've had like the same friends one had the same friends for a very long time, and the other has these awful people at work. It's okay to remove yourself. And that would be a question I would ask Spirit too.
Yeah.
Is it time for me to switch jobs? And maybe not leave that company, maybe just to a different department or whatever.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Is it time for me to give up this friend that I've had for so long because I can't seem to, when I'm with this person, I can't seem to move forward?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. And I would say it's absolutely what you should do. Yes. If you're not moving forward, we've all done that. We have those people that we get with, and all of a sudden, like, you want to gossip or you want to say, whatever, like that happens, that low vibration, we dip to their level.
Oh man.
Get away from those
so
people.
Easy.
Yes. Yes. I think we talked about it last week, right? Is how, like with alcohol and stuff, everyone gets on the same vibration. That happens in place. Get away from them. Walk away. You don't have to respond. You don't have to say anything. This is about you being in your beautiful energy and walking away. Do something for yourself. That's
absolutely.
and ask Spirit if you need to ask Spirit. That's okay. Is this what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to walk away from this person? Sometimes there's trauma bonding there.
True.
Yes. And so there's some healing to be done. Sometimes we tell ourselves, well, I can't, I've been friends with them for so long. I can't, or I can't change jobs because of this or that. Stop. And if really you are stuck, there's some healing to be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, I needed to give someone permission today to walk away from a situation of people who are bringing them down. You have permission from Spirit.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, if you're looking for a sign, this is your sign, my friend. This is your sign.
Yeah.
Walk away from that person who does not have your best interest at heart. Put yourself first. It's time to walk away. Absolutely. So whoever you are, that was I got Fred standing right next to me. So someone out there needs to hear that you have Spirit's permission to walk away. And please do. We hope you do. Yeah. So, and spend some time in meditation if you need to, and really feel that answer. Get the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Anyway, someone needed to hear that. Yes. That happens a lot, isn't it? When we're on.
Almost every time.
Yeah. Someone specific.
So. Yeah.
And we do absolutely love when we get an email, or if this is on YouTube, they'll comment or whatever when they say, you were speaking to me.
Absolutely.
I was the one. Love it. Yeah. I was the one that you were speaking to. And that just warms our heart, and it's beautiful. What a beautiful tribute, affirmation, whatever, to Spirit. Have Spirit work through all of us.
True.
Is this a good place to?
I'm thinking we're wrapping up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone. This has been just an honor. I feel I really Fred came in and that beautiful message came through, and so now I'm in all that. I love you, man. I mean, the energy. Yes.
But we appreciate you so very, very much.
Very much.
All of the support.
Yes, thank you. And again, you can find us tcseverydayspsychics.com. That'll give all the information about us if you
contact us through there.
Yes. It lists all of our different services. And and then we have the 2 YouTube channels, but then you can find all that. I'm sure that's all on our website, isn't it?
I think it is.
If it's not, we need to get in there and do some more.
It is.
Yes.
Although I think it's going to be time shortly to get in there and do some things anyway.
Yes. Yeah, it's time. Yeah, you can't have the same website forever. And we've both leveled up and have some more offerings and need to have them on there.
Yeah, we do need to have new stuff on there.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And
Thank you.
we'll...
Have a great week, and we'll be back next week.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we will.
Bye.
Bye.